Welcome back, guys. I'm your host, Travis Otto, and we are in Las Vegas today, bringing you another episode of So What's Your Goal? My mission, as always, is to help you, the listener, have bigger goals, take action, and make changes and improve your lives in one or all three of these categories: health, relationships, and money. And today, I have Manny V in the studio.
What's up?
And I'll introduce you to him really quick. He's a badass dude here. Manuel Villasenor, known as Manny. Las Vegas native, Manny is a multi-talented individual with a strong focus on videography, fitness, and product manufacturing, which I'll have to talk about. After high school, he delved into the world of freelance video, exploring entrepreneurship. Manny's journey led him through various roles, ultimately finding his niche in digital marketing. His philosophy is simple: be the best at everything I do. I like that. If I bring value to myself, that brings value to those around me. That's all he needs. That's what he says. Manny thrives on the grind of life. From working out to designing and building things, he believes in continuous self-improvement and is committed to making a positive impact on the world through accountability and hard work. He is the guy pushing boundaries and striving for excellence. I like that, man. You look jacked as hell, too, dude. You look good.
I'm trying. I'm in the middle of I just started bulking.
Bulking season.
So it's like the peak of being a little lean, but also putting on some size. So
it's
right
probably
now,
like a comfortable size, you know? Like that's like where you want to chill at, you know?
Yeah. It's definitely the nice stage.
Where you're not like starving yourself and you can actually eat good food and still look pretty damn good.
And you don't feel guilty about, having a lot of food because you're bulking and you were used to eating a little bit. So yeah, it's definitely the nice stage of things. But dude, thanks for having me on here.
Absolutely, man. I'm happy to have you.
Yeah.
We've been trying to plan this out for a minute.
Yeah. No, you're my first.
I doubt I'll be your last.
No, this is my first podcast, so I'm pretty stoked about it. I actually like your topic too, because I'm pretty opinionated about my goals. Yeah,
okay.
My goals.
Dude, my favorite question to ask everybody is like, that's why I created the podcast. So what's your goal? Because like at the end of the day, I'm gonna ask you, so what's your goal? Like, what are you working towards? Like, I want to get inside your brain and figure out like what makes you tick. Yeah. So that way, like I can see like what we have in common. Because like I'm a very like goal oriented driven person. Like you know me, like I've always been like that.
Absolutely.
And you're like that too. I see that in you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So what's your goal?
Dude, you're going to go right to it, huh?
Yeah.
I might have you kind of take
a step back.
Take a step back and kind of decipher what my goal really is, because I don't like when people go about building anything, including their life, without seeing where they want to be, right? Because then you're kind of like, the blind leading the blind.
If you don't have a destination in mind, you're bound for nowhere.
Exactly. But I'm also a huge proponent of like not knowing where you're going to be in 5 years or 10 years, and your priorities change, and with that you have to make safe and like good fundamentals on what you're doing right now, so when things do change, you're still a step closer towards whatever that goal may be. So I feel like a lot of times I build on the fundamentals of what a successful person usually has. Mm-hmm. That's good health, financial freedom, good relationships, and everything in between there, right? A lot of things you already touched on in the beginning in the intro. So, I mean, on a day-to-day, I try to move towards those. But as far as like end goal, it's just having those in a way where I can move to whatever I want to do at that time.
So do you have financial freedom right now?
I'm working towards it. I feel
so you're freelance, right?
Yeah. And very recently, I worked with the company for many years, and it worked out great for me because at the time I was just getting started, fresh out of high school, kind of vibe. I did a lot of freelance.
You learn a trade.
Yeah. I got to learn. I with the company that I'm still currently with, not full time anymore. I really got to learn the e-commerce space.
Okay.
So it was really helpful to me and kind of opened my eyes into a space where I really liked. But I don't remember what I was going with the question or what we were talking about.
Well, you learned a trade. You work for this company, and we're trying to figure out. Like I asked you if you're financial freedom. You're not there yet, so you're still aspiring.
No, definitely not. And I don't think I'll ever really be where like completely free, because I do like spending money as much as I like making it,
Well, you just got to make more than you spend.
Exactly. I mean, and that kind of keeps going. Like very recently this year, through the decisions I've gotten to this point, I'm now just bought my first house a couple months ago.
You bought a house?
Yeah.
No shit, congrats,
Yeah,
dude.
I bought my dad's house.
You bought your dad's house? Yeah, well, that's so cool. You still bought a house at the end of the day.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You got a mortgage and shit.
Yeah. Bought a house, and just the way things are panning out, that kind of alleviates with me and my girl She's probably going to buy, a multifamily property.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we were kind of in an agreement where first one with the capability buy a house, then the next one buys that,
Okay.
and then kind of moving on through there. But so just constantly making steps in that direction,
Okay.
in the financial freedom direction.
In the financial freedom world. So you believe, so your belief is through real estate, you're going to get your
I
financial freedom?
believe, see, and that goes back to the goal, right? Like, where are your finite goals? I know that I'm going to have my foot in that space, period. Whether that is ultimately what brings me the full financial freedom that I'm searching, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know that that's always on the up and up,
Okay.
and it's a safe ground.
Let's break down this out, because you don't know where you want to go yet, right? You're still trying to figure it out.
In some ways.
In some ways. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know how much money you need to make? Because this is the step. This is how you figure out where you want to go. You need to ask yourself these questions. How much money do you want to make? Do you know?
Dude,
You don't know?
I don't know, because
Where do you want to live?
if I was rich as hell right now,
Yeah.
if I was a multimillionaire, let's just say I had the net worth of like $50 million, right?
Yeah.
I still don't think that'd be enough,
Why?
because I feel like I get so much out of wanting more.
So you think that you just have this insatiable
I
hunger?
yeah,
that'll
I
never be
just, because
fulfilled?
if I was at $50 million, my eyes would be on things that I couldn't quite attain at that point. It just, I mean, I've never been at that point, so I don't know.
If you only have 50 million, you can't buy $100 million yacht.
Yeah, exactly,
You know?
right? So, and it's always like I'm constantly trying to push my limits
So
on
then,
what I can do.
if you're always, steps behind your goal, right? If your goal is constantly changing to something bigger and better, then are you ever actually truly happy? Are you ever living in the moment?
That is where I struggle.
Living in the moment?
No, not living in the moment, but I think, and maybe I haven't gotten to a healthy point with this, right? And that's what I'm saying. I always change over time.
Yeah.
But definitely within the past like 2 years, it's been because it's like this unsatiable, like
You
achieving.
need more, you
thing.
need more, you need more.
Yeah. I just feel like it's so up and down. Like
It's not stable.
well, I can be happy, but then it's like, it's not enough. I need more. I need more. I need more. I need more.
Okay, give me an example. I like specific examples because
Okay,
I believe a
specific
lot of
examples.
people like learn through specific examples and like put yourself so people can put themselves in your shoes. So like let's talk about your this is all related back to health, mental health, physical fitness. Like you're this guy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So specific examples, right?
yeah, you're happy, but you're not really happy, right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it also kind of depends on what you mean by happiness, right?
Well, everybody has their own definition
Yeah,
of happiness.
and to me,
by your own definition
Yeah.
of happiness, were you happy?
every day I wake up happy. Every
Well,
night I
then-
go to
well,
sleep
then-
happy.
then what
But
do you
at
got
the
to
same
look-
time, in the middle of the day, it can get.
So
I could be at my lowest low. I could be like, man, I'm like sleeping. Like there's so many things I could be doing.
yeah.
You know?
How do you handle that?
It depends. It depends on how that moment goes.
So,
Usually,
so having these high highs and these low lows, you think you're like bipolar?
I don't think so. I don't think so, because at the end of the day, like any moment, or maybe I don't know. Maybe you can help me out there.
If you're bipolar, I don't know.
No, I don't think so, because
No, I don't think you're bipolar, but
I definitely have high highs and low lows throughout every day. But getting
when's
back
your
to
when's
point,
your highest high?
whenever I get something done.
Oh, so you like your task? Are you task oriented? Like you like just like, oh, that was a quick task done. Boom, I feel great. Like the dopamine.
So
rush of,
let me
of
give you a
getting that
specific
done?
example, right?
Yeah.
A couple months ago, I kind of saw a window of opportunity to purchase a home,
Yep.
my home that I'm
Yep.
in now, right?
Yep.
And it became quite the challenge, just because currently don't have a full-time job. Banks don't like that,
Nope, they don't.
right? Currently, my actual like consistent income was really low.
Inconsistent income.
Yeah, inconsistent
Not
income.
full time. Yeah.
Not full-time, not married, young, all the red flags.
Yeah,
for
you're
a bank.
you're a giant walking red flag to a bank.
Exactly. And so there was lots of challenges that were presented to me. Not only that, I was purchasing the home for my father, who had no realistic expectation of what his home was worth,
Okay.
and how much was it was just
Reasonable for the price.
buying a house from your father. In my case, was very difficult.
I would imagine it would be difficult.
Yeah, it's negotiating with your own dad is not the funnest thing to go through.
I did 18 years worth of shit for you, son. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
come on, like, give me a good deal on this house.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, that'd be a nightmare.
It
I
was
wouldn't want
it
to
was
negotiate with my dad.
it was difficult, and nonetheless, all those things came into, like, I saw a window of opportunity, and I knew all of those things were going to be put in front of me.
Yeah.
But I knew if I purchased a home, it was going to be a big deal for me, right?
Yeah,
Because
it's a
then
big
I
deal
could
for
move on to
everybody.
the next step to chasing this
This
goal, right?
Yeah.
So I just become hyper focused for like 3-4 months. I became hyper focused on achieving that.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, I got it done,
Yep.
right? And I had to pull all the strings I had in my list of things I had connected with, and it worked out. And then it's like, if I can get this to go through, that's where my head's at. That's where every day I wake. And then there's so many problems that come up, and it's just like the end of the world to me. Like, like there's no way the bank's going to take me because of XYZ. Right.
Yeah.
And then we get to the next stage and they're like, okay, well, and then just like a little bit of info too. Like my dad was an illegal immigrant who got deported from the country. So there was lots of difficult parts with purchasing a home
From a deported illegal immigrant?
Yes.
I can imagine there's a lot of red tape with that. Holy
And
shit.
yeah, exactly. And
Wow.
so there was lots of difficult hurdles, and between signing documents, between him having to go in Mexico to embassies to make
Yeah.
this all happen. On
Yeah.
top of
So this house was really a freaking climbing Mount Everest
Yeah,
dude, to get
yeah.
this house. He had to go to the American embassy in Mexico to get this deal done.
yes.
This is an international business deal.
Yeah,
that you're
yeah,
doing.
international
You're
business
an
deal.
international businessman,
Exactly.
my friend.
And
on top of it all.
Yeah, but it all worked out. And like what I'm saying is the highs, like whenever I presented with a hurdle, it's like game over. And then my brain goes into figure it out,
Yeah.
get to the next step. And so there's that up and down constantly until I
That
get to
sounds
the
like
end.
life, dude.
That's what I'm saying. So
is.
at any point through that, if you were like to chop my head off, I'd be like, you know what? It was a good life. It was great. I can't complain. And
Okay.
so am I happy? Absolutely. But sometimes I'm just like frustrated as hell.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. Like I got a phone call this morning, not a good phone call. First thing I wake up out of bed, get a phone call. Problem.
Yeah.
Way to start your day off. But then I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let this ruin my day. This is just one problem, and I'm going to resolve it anyway. And so I just moved past it, you know, and on to the next things. Like I got a podcast, I'm meeting with a client. Like I've got all these things I got to do. Like this problem is not going to be a game ender for me.
Yeah.
It may be a game changer, but it's not going to be a deal ender.
Yeah.
Because there's way more deals to be made. There's way more money to be made. There's way more things to be doing. And you can't asphyxiate on one thing.
Yeah.
At least you can't let one bad thing get you down.
No, absolutely
You
not.
know, it's really hard to not sometimes,
Yeah.
especially if it's like really life changing. But I understand that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly what you're saying. Like even since we already kind of touched a little bit on the topic, like when my dad got boomed from the US, like that felt like game over because
Yeah, I can imagine. How old were you when your dad got deported?
20?
You're 20?
No, I was over 21. I was 22.
Okay. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that still sucks.
Yeah. The crappy thing about it,
What about your mom?
my mom voluntarily deported herself, not too long after.
So your mom,
Actually before. Yeah, it was before.
so your mom voluntarily left the country.
Yes. Which is a good decision because
Okay.
now we have hopes of her coming back.
Okay.
My dad got taken out the hardcore way.
Oh, okay. SWAT
Yeah.
team.
And, dude, hey, pretty much just a van pulls up and they just take you. That's really how it is. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, we can get into a whole
So
hour
like
about
being that your dad, all right, let's talk about that really quick.
Okay.
So like being like, this is a hot topic. Like Republicans are like, build the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Democrats are like, open borders, let everybody in. Everybody gets a amnesty.
Mm-hmm.
Let everybody in. What do you think is the right?
Dude,
You've lived.
oof.
You were born in America.
Yeah.
Your dad's an illegal immigrant.
Yeah.
He lived here for most of his
Yeah.
life, or most of your life, and then
Yeah.
he gets deported at 21. And your mom voluntarily left. Now you're here alone without your family.
Yeah. And
Like what do you think's right or wrong with this scenario? I mean, you're literally a freaking direct person involved with this.
I would say there's two. I think my opinion is very also controversial.
Well, let's hear it.
Okay, because I think that for example, I think I'm pro that wall.
Build the wall. Okay.
Build the wall, make it impossible for people to enter the country illegally because you end up with situations that are completely unfair to the children
Yeah.
of whomever decided to make that decision, right? Like for example, my youngest brother, when that happened to my dad, my youngest brother was 13, 14.
So you're
And
stuck raising your younger.
So I got stuck raising my little brother, and I'm a law-abiding citizen. Like I pay my taxes and everything, and I was young at the time too, younger, 22, and so is my little brother. And like it's just wrong. It's just wrong for their own citizens to have to deal with that.
I believe that. Yeah, I agree
Right?
with that too.
Like
It's tough.
nobody should have to deal with that, especially the people that are actually from this country and that there's supposedly trying to protect.
Yeah.
Right.
So you felt to be a victim of the system in that way.
Victim of the system. And not only that, like even dealing with the ins and outs of the people that work that system. And like you get treated just as bad as the illegal immigrant, being the same person that's standing on the other side of that wall telling you like no. And it's really crappy.
Yeah.
And it felt completely unfair to me and to my siblings. And ultimately, it comes down to the decision of my dad deciding to make a better life for himself and us out here and having the opportunity to do that illegally.
He came here illegally. He's like, screw it, I'm going to hop the border. Came here, built a life. And
ultimately, like, it's just, and I got left with the tab.
Yeah.
You know? And it's unfair. Ultimately, I'm grateful that he did it because I can, and I have all the options that I have for myself here.
So do you think, so he got deported, do you know, was it, I mean, like, I don't quite understand how it works. You don't have to go into details, but he got deported for whatever reason, right?
He got deported, and I'll kind of get a little more detail on that too, because it's kind of funny what he got deported for.
Yeah, let's see. Was he like the perfect law-abiding citizen guy?
I mean, you knew my dad. He was
crazy
off the wall. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
off the wall, but he wasn't anybody trying to hurt anybody or anything like that.
No, he was a good time Charlie, man. That's
Yeah,
what he
yeah,
was.
yeah.
He was just here to have a good time.
Exactly. And the reason why he got boomed for being here was working as a contractor without a contractor's license.
Okay, well, that's a big no-no no matter what, if you're a citizen or not. You know?
Exactly. So that's why he got prioritized as a essentially criminal to get deported.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so he got so essentially that's why he got taken out.
Okay,
he had a criminal. So I am all for get the criminals out of here, right?
Yeah, but he doesn't really. It was like a white collar crime. I don't know what kind of crime that is, but it doesn't seem like one that's like hurting anybody.
Yeah,
I don't know the ins and outs.
What's funny is that the person that reported him was just you're pissed off Karen.
A pissed off Karen who was an ex-client.
Ex-client.
Oh,
like, you didn't put my backsplash on right. And then I'm gonna get you deported.
Karen called it immigration on him. Oh, that's so shit.
And so 20 plus years of being here, doing his thing, and having kids and everything, and
that's one bad Google review, guys, away from getting deported. Yeah, you better watch out.
Yeah, exactly. And there's so much to it, right? Like even being, I mean, I can only speak from my position, but like even growing up, that that's something that can happen to your parents. So you're like. It's really hush hush. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fear.
Really hush hush. You don't travel much. You don't do any of this. Even though you're a citizen just like anybody else, you have that.
So you think this scenario with your dad and your family and like, coming over the wall, you think it defined you as a person? Like you think this like help? This was like
absolutely
defining moments. So
absolutely.
So let's talk about you again and let's talk about like the advantages of this. Like obviously the advantages of your dad crossing the border. You're here now, you're talking with me, you're an American citizen. You got the, I don't know. Do you think this is the best place to make it?
Oh yeah,
without a doubt.
I mean, I think
baby.
I won the lottery with everything I've got.
Yeah,
like I'm super blessed and even with my dad leaving and even, I mean, it sucks that he's gone, right? But like, even having to raise my little brother, it's one of the most rewarding things I've ever had to do.
Yeah.
Just every aspect of my life has been so rewarding.
Do you want to have kids now after having to raise your?
Yeah, brother? I'm not in a rush, but I almost feel like my first actual kid is gonna have that second kid treatment just because like Juanita already got it pretty bad,
Oh,
so
he'll be like you'll be more lenient on him.
Yeah, I might be a little bit more lax the second time around.
Gotcha.
Because I was pretty stringent on Juanita, especially towards the end when he headed off to college.
He's in college now.
Yeah, he's in Reno.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So let's talk about the people listening, right?
Yeah.
So everybody out there listening, so you come from an interesting background, and digital marketing. Let's talk more about that.
Okay.
And let's talk more about like, your success. And we talked a little bit about, you don't really know where your goal is yet because you just have this insatiable craving. But
you make it sound like a bad thing.
I have the same problem.
Yeah.
But like the thing that I try to tell myself is to enjoy the time while you're here during the
Absolutely.
time. And that's the hardest thing to do. Like I'm living right now in a place where I don't want to live. I live in New Orleans, Louisiana. I don't want to live there. Because it's just not my vibe. I want to live by the beach. I like nice things. It's like the antithesis of beaches and nice things. And I try not to get too much into a negative mindset where I'm just like, God, I can't wait till I get out of here. Once I get out of here, then I'm going to be happy. Yeah. But I'm like, dude, I'm going to be here for like a couple of years. Like I've got to like get out of that mindset and just enjoy and take into account just all the good things that are around me. And that's super difficult.
So I have a question for you. I know that like we've met, like, I mean, we've hung out a couple of times in the past couple of years, and it seems like one thing that I have recorded in my head, I don't know if it's still true, was always like your kind of end goal was to have a nice freaking yacht.
That's still the goal, bro.
Okay. So how do you go about, I mean, obviously it's worked out pretty well for you. You're doing really well for yourself, but like, do you ever feel like maybe that goal might change and then, you know?
I tell you what I do. Every single night before I go to bed, I write down everything that I want on a notepad in my phone. And I write down the same thing every single day. I own it. I own a beachfront home in Florida. I own a Lagoon 77 catamaran parked in the backyard. Those are the two things I write down every single day. And then I would talk about my relationships. I talk about my health, like in every single one. I make the right decisions. I eat healthy. I have a 6-pack. I'm lean. Like I love my wife and I treat her really well. Like I write those things down every single day. And so I just obsess over those things. They will change over time. You know, I'm going to get more honed in and defined. You know, I'll be like, all right, I want a home on this beach in this place. Like, I just know what I want, but I'm not super honed in on it yet. But I know for a damn fact that like,
that's what
I am the happiest I am when I'm on a beach or near a boat. Like all my best memories are on beaches and boats.
So let me
like
hit you
when we were kids. Like I've known this guy since we were kids, right? Some of the best memories I have with you are on beaches and boats, dude. We're on Lake Mead, out at the beach, you know, on the boat, just being wild animals. And like every single time I'm on the beach, I'm having the best day of my life.
I completely agree with you in the sense. Also, I have the weird on a beach for sure. That's end goal for me too.
Yeah.
But let me hit you with this. So you're very honed in on those set of goals. What if in 2 years you hit that, like exactly the way you want it? What's left?
God, I don't know. I haven't thought past that.
I mean, you don't have to, right? Because those are pretty good goals, but
yeah, I know it's going to take a while to get there. I mean, because like, okay, realistically, I could go buy a home on a beach and like a boat, a small yacht right now. Like I could have that, but it's like, it's all about the views, right? It's about the levels. There's levels to success. I could live on a boat and I could live on a beach right now.
Yeah,
I could do it. But it's not that beach that I want. It's not the boat that I want. And so I have a very specific beach and a very specific boat. And to obtain those things, you know, like I have to make X amount of money. And that's how I think about it. You know?
That's
and then like once I get there, I'm gonna enjoy that for a season. Like I believe there's like seasons in life. Like in my 20s, like my season was going out every weekend, partying with the boys, getting messed up, and you know, chasing girls, and like that was fun for a season. And now it's over. And like I don't want that ever again. Like I'm done with it. It makes me. I don't even want to drink. I don't even drink anymore. I don't drink. I don't do anything. I'm just sober and I just chill.
Want to get after it.
I just want to get after it. And so I think that season of my life ended, and now I have a new season which I'm chasing this. And then you know maybe once I get that, then like kids and you know then your priorities change again. You know, so you will have seasons.
Yeah.
You know.
So what's funny about what you just said was there's levels to it, right?
Yeah.
So I almost feel like that goal that you have will continue to be pushed until you decide. Because realistically, if you were to the point, let's say you're at that 50 million point, right?
Yeah.
Next year or something.
Yeah.
You'd probably be like, that beach house and that boat that I want, I can probably get a bigger house and a bigger boat and a nicer beach.
You can do, but
or are you just gonna be like, no, that's it.
It depends on like if I'm enjoying what I'm doing, right? If I love what I'm doing, which I do, and I'm able to make the money I want to get the house and the boat and everything else that comes with it, then like if I can just keep on doing what I'm doing and I make a lot more money, then yeah, I'll probably upgrade, you know? But if, you know, it's like, hey, I'm going to retire and this is going to be my forever home, because like, I think you also your brain starts to change as you get older. And like, once you hit your 30s, you start thinking like more long-term and like, okay, like, when am I ever going to actually settle down into a home? Like, am I going to be in a family way? Like, am I going to want to stay someplace for like 20, 30 years? Because like right now, my brain, I don't want to be anywhere for 20, 30 years. I don't want to be anywhere for 2 years. Like I want to hop around and move around, you know, and like explore. Like I'm an explorer, right? But I think that changes with time. And so I know it does because your priorities change.
Yeah.
And so like to answer your question, like will it ever be enough? The most important thing is like, it's not so much the goal, it's the journey.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
The journey is, and that's so
100%.
cliche to say, but it's like,
Dude,
it's the truest thing, dude. And that's why I say it's like, dude, like the most rewarding thing is when I'm on the beach on the yacht and I'm thinking about all the shit I had to do to get here. Like, I'm gonna tear up thinking about it. Like it's crazy, dude. Like I think about it all the time, and like because like
You're
just like
already
I can almost feel it, dude.
Yeah,
I can almost feel like all the hard work that I had to put in to get there.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what you're gonna look back on and go like, fuck, this was crazy.
But you see, because like you already can feel and taste that happiness
I'm
sitting
convinced,
here
dude.
right now, right?
Yeah.
And going back to what you're saying, the journey being the most important thing, and even back to the point where you're saying like, well, do you feel like you're happy right now?
Yeah.
I'm on the journey, and I know I'm gonna get there.
Yeah.
So every
I know
day
it's inevitable.
I feel so happy about my life. Period. It's just these hurdles that come up.
So what do you think for people who aren't happy with their lives, dude? Like, let's talk about them again. Like,
Okay.
we get sidetracked on us because we talk about ourselves. Narcissistic assholes.
For sure.
But you know, the people who aren't happy with what they want, because there was a point in my time. Like, let's talk about when we weren't happy, right? Like, think about the times when you were unhappy.
Yes.
And some of my unhappiest days was when I was working for somebody else. I was fat. I was getting drunk every single weekend. You know, I had no control over my time. I didn't have the laptop lifestyle. Didn't have any muscles. You know, like I was nothing. Like I had a job, a paycheck, and alcohol, right? And those are some of my most unhappiest times of my life. And so, like, what do you think? Like, have you had any unhappy times like that?
You know, I would say my unhappiest times were in middle school.
In middle school?
Yeah, in
So
middle school.
All right, so tell me about middle school.
Well, I mean, just stupid stuff, right? Like, what was it? Girls, growing up, you know, the awkward phase.
Yeah.
I mean, you knew me in middle school. I mean, we just had good times together because we just were hanging out. But I mean, that was the unhappiest. I think after middle school, it's odd enough to say that we're talking about middle school as old as we are. But during that middle school, high school phase, I kind of realized, I don't know, I just kind of got like a self-confidence in like myself that like after that, I never really felt unhappy with any aspect of my life.
So what if you never make any money and you're broke forever? You live paycheck
That won't
to check.
happen.
But what if it does?
It won't. It can't. It literally, that's why I'm so happy, because I know it can't happen.
All right, see, that's the kind of attitude you guys need to have, is this delusional belief that everything is going to happen. And that's like, me and him both have this delusional belief that everything's gonna be fine. Like, I can feel I can smell the ocean air. He can see his end goal in sight. And if you don't have that, then that's why you're unhappy, because you don't have anything to like work towards or build after. Like, as like a man, dude, like you need something to hunt for.
Absolutely.
Like men are naturally hunters. And like women, if we were two chicks talking, we'd have very different conversations right now. But like as a man to man, like the hunter mentality in us is like, dude, we're gonna catch that animal because like we have to. Like that's it. Like I gotta eat. I gotta eat, and I'm tired of eating rabbits, dude. I don't want that big buck. You know, and like the boat for me is the big buck, and you know, for whatever it is for you is your big buck, and you know you're gonna get it. Just that delusional belief.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
That belief, and to kind of like touch on that a little bit, my friend put me on this little phrase. It's called "too easy," right?
Yeah.
And
too easy. Yeah, you say it all the time.
It's just funny because realistically, when you really believe that it's already like you're gonna get it, it's just a matter of putting in that work, then everything becomes too easy because you already can taste it, you already can feel it, you already know you're gonna get there. It's just a matter of figuring out how to do it. And so everything just becomes too easy. Nothing really ever weighs on your shoulders. You can always like third person view it and be like, okay, I don't need to get too caught up in this. I don't need to make this hurdle bigger than it needs to be. Just figure it out. I still got 2 arms, legs, a brain. I can get
just
after it.
resilience. So you just have that resilience. Yeah. So do you think you know, let's talk about you for a second. So you think like you're a fit dude, right? So have you always had this resilience? Do you think the gym has helped you with the resilience? Because a lot of people don't have a lot of people hear problems, they think it's the end of the world, they give up, and they're just like overwhelmed with like, I mean, we've all been overwhelmed at some point in time, but just like when you're so overwhelmed to the point where you just like want to give up, I mean, like, how do you wake up the next day when you're stuck in a rut, like when some of your worst days, you know, like, is the gym, is that your exit, or like you know, why do you stay in shape other than like it's good for you? Is that the reason why you do
so at the beginning stages, I would say I got into shape as like just the challenge, right? At first, it's just a challenge.
Yeah, you're a driven dude. Some people don't have that.
Yeah. Well, going into that, I'll get into that. But like the challenge, right? Chasing the challenge and seeing something uncomfortable and then eventually becoming comfortable with it. And then, you know, you go into the gym at the beginning being like, oh, everybody's looking at me like, you know, like I want, like, look at those guys are looking at me. I'm the small guy, right?
Yeah.
And then over time, you become that guy that you're like, that people you can see them walk in the gym being like, I don't know what I'm doing, and they're looking at you, and I'm just like, dude, it's not that serious. Like, you just got to keep coming. And so, I think what people need that get into like a weird rut, and it probably happens to me and you all the time, but we're able to get out of it because of the confidence and belief of seeing it through.
Yeah.
And I think some people lack and it's something they could totally fix. It's just they lack the like belief that they can do what they want with their lives.
That's true. Well, you don't. So when did you realize that you could do whatever you want with your life?
I don't know, but I just feel like once I started building that self-confidence that
I know the day when it happened for me.
oh yeah? Okay, go
I
for it.
heard it from Bradley, and this is what he said. He said, if you don't want what you currently have, then why are you afraid to lose it? And that's when it clicked in my brain. I was like, well, shit. And at that point in time, dude, I was making 6 figures, working for a company, 9-to-5 job, Monday through Friday. I had $1 million home. I had a brand new truck. I had a boat in the driveway, and I didn't want any of it. I didn't want to live here. I didn't want the boat. I didn't want the house. It wasn't where I wanted to be, and I was so afraid to lose it. That's why I wasn't making moves. I had paralysis, being stuck in my job, and some people say it's a dream lifestyle. For me, it was a prison, you know. And that's when I heard that. If you don't want what you currently have, then why are you afraid to lose it? And that's when I was like, well, fuck, I don't need any of this stuff. And then I started, just getting out there into the community and like having a little bit of faith in myself, like, just repeated notions. And that's when I built the confidence, like, shit, I can do anything I want. Because before that, I didn't believe that I could. I believe that I had to stay at a job. I believe that I had to do these things that society says you need to do. And then you retire at 65 and you die. That's what I believed for a long time.
That's crazy because I feel like since I've known you, but for a while there, like once we started becoming adults, I felt like you were very, had a very like a can-do mentality and like overachieving mentality.
Yeah.
And I mean, I knew you before you got to the stage of, having that big house, the boat, and trucks and all that. And I didn't see that being the end for you at all.
No, I didn't. I knew it wasn't the end. Like I always knew it wasn't the end, but I didn't know that I could do what I could do now. Like I didn't think I was able to be financially free like how I am now, and have the lifestyle that I have right now. I didn't think I was gonna have this, at least not anytime soon.
Yeah.
Maybe like when I was like 50 or 60, I could live like this.
You didn't feel like it was as attainable as it.
No, wasn't
really
it?
was.
Because I didn't believe that. I thought making $100,000 a year, like 10 grand a month, was like, oh my god, dude, like you're killing it.
Yeah.
But realistically, I was like, dude, there's so much more.
Yeah.
To that, there's so much more. And you make 10 grand in a day, 10 grand in a week. There's.
I think there's levels to that too, though. Like even as much as I'm about the mentality that we're talking about, like, for me, moving to that next stage is not scary, but like you just don't know until you're there, kind of thing, right? Like you didn't know how attainable where you're at was when you were in the other stage.
Yeah.
And so I think there's levels to it. The same way the next stage for you, you don't realize how attainable it is until you get there. You're like,
yeah, this is easy.
Yeah.
Too easy.
Yeah, too easy, right?
Yeah.
And
that's how the gym is, right?
Yeah.
Bring it back full circle. The gym is like that. It builds your confidence little by little by little.
That's my point, is that so many
Consistency,
people forget and don't realize what's attainable. They're scared for whatever reason, with the way they were raised, the way they were conducted themselves in school, their social circles, whatever it may be.
Well, you realize the whole system is designed to
Put you
keep us
down.
in the system.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You have to go to college so that way you're attractive enough for an employer to want to hire you.
Exactly.
Like it's like this ugly girl syndrome or something.
Yeah.
That society instills in us. Like nobody's gonna want you unless you do these things.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why a lot of people don't. They just need to crack it somehow.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough. Like my parents were. I mean, you knew my dad. He was not the type of guy to be held down. He was very like get after it. And I just kind of not that I saw that for myself either, but it just kind of happened. I don't know.
Yeah. So do you so back to your your digital marketing and that sort of stuff. So what are you doing? Are you just like an online influencer type guy? Is that what you're trying to be? Like,
Well,
I saw you had a few TikTok videos that, like popped off over like 1 million views.
Yeah.
I mean, did that do anything? Like, what happens when you go viral on TikTok? Does that actually do anything for you?
So it's funny. I put a lot of energy into going into TikTok and Instagram and that stuff. With I'm about the grind. So I knew that it was going to be a lot of work for very little results. But I did it. I still got more results than the
What are
energy
the
I put in.
results?
What I went into it looking for was understanding the fitness community and what type of content is successful, what type of just really sticking my head.
So give us. So in the fitness community, what type of content is successful?
If I had
You don't know the answer yet?
No, I don't have the answer. But
So what do you think there was any special recipe to like some of the videos that you had that like popped off like millions of views?
I think it's hard to put your finger on the recipe, Like you can't.
So you don't know what you did. Is what you're
No,
saying.
no, I do. I did get a lot out of it in the sense of, out of all that stuff I was doing there,
Yeah.
I took all that knowledge that I learned on what works and what doesn't.
Give us something.
Give us something.
The
Okay.
the end user needs to hear something. These
Okay, so
listeners on here.
throughout that process, I learned about essentially formatting your videos in a way where it's kind of like you leave them a crumb. Everything you say is leading to the next sentence. Everything you're giving them.
So like cliffhangers the whole time.
The
Do you have
whole
an
time you're
example of a
talking.
cliffhanger?
So
this is how you go viral on TikTok. You have to have cliffhangers, right?
yeah. So you
Talk about
want
cliffhangers.
to essentially lead them on to the next thing, the next second of watching. So it's like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever done,
Yeah.
right? And so if you listen to that sentence, you're gonna want to listen to the next sentence. What's the dumbest thing you've ever done, right? So then you say, I did this and I didn't expect it to do this. And then it's like, okay, so now this is the dumbest thing that he ever did because he did this and he didn't expect this to happen. And then you just keep going and going and going and going until you have them hooked for 30 seconds and they watched whatever you wanted them to watch.
For 30 seconds.
For 30 seconds, a minute, whatever
it's
your
like-
content.
This is the dumbest thing that I've ever done in my entire life. And I didn't expect this to happen at all.
Yeah.
So there I was one day walking down the street, and that's when I got smacked in the face in the back of the head, by this guy.
Yeah, and then by this
So you're
guy
telling a story.
whom you'll never expect who it was, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, who was it? It was
Brad Pitt.
Yeah. But not only that, guess who was in the driver or who in the passenger seat, right?
Yeah.
It's like, well, who was in the passenger seat? It was so and so, and I knew her way back because of, you know, and you just keep going.
And so that's what
and
you do with your
going.
fitness videos then is
Yeah, the ones that did well did that, and it's hard to do it off the cuff when you're in the gym and you're doing all these things.
Yeah.
It's hard to do it, and you just got to get better and better at it. Not to mention, having the right lighting, making it look good, not coming off as a douchebag. There's plenty of those online, so there's plenty of variables that you can't control, but there are certain core fundamentals that you can. And within that, if you keep doing that every day, hitting it, giving it your best shot, you start to get better at it and start to get traction. On one, you start to build an audience. So eventually people start coming back. And two, you're hitting the fundamentals and creating a good story that people want to listen into. So that's kind of what I did. I didn't get a lot out of it. However, I applied that to my other job.
Yeah.
And not soon after, or like shortly after I started doing that for myself, I started having viral video after viral video after viral video in that space a lot more consistently than I did in my fitness stuff.
In what industry is this?
This is the gun industry. So I work for a body. Yeah.
Okay, the gun industry.
So this is a body armor company called Safe Life Defense. I'm wearing their shirt right now. That's the company I've been with.
Shout out
for,
Safe Life Defense. I
Yeah, they're
guess.
great people. And if
Yeah.
you want body armor, go check them out. They're the best of the best.
Yeah. What's my commission for that? Like 10%?
I'll get you an affiliate set up for
Hey,
sure.
give me an affiliate link, bro.
Yeah, I'll get you an affiliate
All right,
link.
use my affiliate link.
Yeah.
Don't go direct to their website.
Yeah. We'll get you guys set up with 10% off. But yeah, for them, it was obviously because they had the platform.
Yeah.
They actually got more out of my investment in finding out how to do this than I did.
So did you charge separately for these services?
Well, I've been working for them in a different way, which
Yeah.
ultimately raises my value.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I got to see it done. So I still hold the knowledge, right?
So-
I'm still the gatekeeper on how to do that. So I can still do it for myself. And I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I'm still going after it. I'm still trying to get all that out. But
So is the knowledge then really just, cliffhanger sentences after cliffhanger sentences?
no,
Is
there's
that
more.
it?
There's more to it, but it's all.
Give me one more thing.
It's like this. How do I get jacked? How do I go to the gym and get jacked, right?
Yeah.
There's so many layers to it. But at the end of the day, you stick to the fundamentals, you keep going, and it pays out. It just pays out when you try to consistently get better and better and better. It happens.
So do you have any end goal for like your online content? Your
Yeah,
fitness industry?
absolutely. I mean,
are you doing coaching right now? Are you taking?
I'm not
clients?
doing coaching. I'm not going into that side of what I want to do, because what I'm trying to do is launch a fitness consumables brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's so special about this fitness
So
brand?
this fitness consumable brand, it's kind of a product that I see that was needed.
Yeah.
It's essentially a deodorizer for gym bags, gym equipment, gym lockers.
Okay.
Because I mean,
The gym stinks. Your bags stink.
your bags stink, your knee sleeves stink, all of it
Okay.
stinks.
So you're gonna make it smell good.
I'm gonna make it smell good, and
Shouldn't they just wash their clothes? Isn't that the
well,
ultimate
that's the
solution?
best way to go about it. But realistically, I mean, I can't tell you. I've seen girls that they look like baddies, and then you go up to them and you can smell the knee sleeves. You're like,
The knee sleeves.
dude, yeah, the knee wraps or all that stuff, right?
Okay, okay. It shows how much
they're
I use
washing
that
their
shit.
clothes, but like
They're not
stuff,
washing their gym equipment.
they're forgetting about it.
Their
They're
gloves,
leaving,
their bandages. Oh, okay.
They're
okay,
leaving that in
okay.
the
So you
bag.
can deodorize that stuff. Because some of that stuff you can't even wash.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right. Some of that stuff you can't. So I've got that in the works, and that's gonna. I feel like it's gonna be really successful because I'm actually throughout the process of figuring that all out. I did it touching on the product manufacturing side. I kind of took 2 years on figuring out how to manufacture products myself, not overseas and not anything down to
American
machining.
made.
American made, right?
American made through and through.
Through and through.
Son of a legal immigrant. This is a great backstory for you. Son of a legal
absolutely.
immigrant, dad deported at 21.
Yep.
Had to raise his 13-year-old kid, and now I'm following the American dream, and I've created this, deodorizing thing made right here in America, baby.
Hey, I'm already planning on milking that angle. So
You're gonna have to. That's a great angle, dude.
Yeah,
You're gonna sell
absolutely.
the hell out of that, dude.
Absolutely. On the
Yeah.
packaging, I have to failure and beyond because I feel like it's so quintessential, like the American dream.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is well, to go back on that product a little bit because I kind of want to talk about the going on like building goals and everything. So I set up that product to go to direct to consumer, but the way things have been laying out, things change. But I spent a lot of time building the manufacturing side, and now I think what I can do with the brand is go straight to influencers and affiliates.
Yeah.
And I can
affiliate marketing, dude. That's why I tell everybody in every
Exactly.
single podcast. I say affiliate marketing is the best way to make money. It's you literally help a company who wants to sell a product or a service find the people who want to buy that product or service, and then you get paid just a little slice.
Yep.
That's how I get paid.
Yep.
Helping people do that.
And I'm going to be on the manufacturing side, giving them product.
So you're going to be the guy who needs to find customers who need to buy it, and you're going to reach out to people who have audiences, micro influencers, who can sell it for you.
Yep.
And you pay them a little slice.
Exactly.
Beautiful model. It's the American dream.
And the cool thing about it too is that because I manufacture them, I can actually offer these people that something that even down the road when people start copying the whole
Your whole business
deodorizer
model.
thing,
Yeah.
they'll have a hard time. Let's say some influencer reaches out to me as a decent audience.
Yeah.
I can make him a deodorizer that has his own label, his own brand, his own smell to it, his own color, his own packaging, all of it's custom
customizable,
made.
private labeled,
Yeah.
anti-deodorizer.
Yep, for specifically for their audience.
for the audience. Yeah.
And
That's cool.
any person that comes up to me, I can do
Dude,
that.
have you seen Katie Hearn, Alani New? Have you heard of that brand?
Yeah.
Dude,
absolutely.
she was a fitness influencer on Instagram like a couple years ago. My wife has been following her, and she like blew up, dude. She's got like drinks on every single shelf that Alani New drink. You can see it like in Walmart, Whole Foods, like it's everywhere, dude. She's making millions of dollars.
Did they partner up with like with the Prime drink, the Logan Paul brothers or something? Because I feel like I've seen them.
They got some big
co-branding.
connects somewhere. They had a
Yeah.
good little connect somewhere with
Yeah.
somebody. But yeah, dude, I mean, like, if you could get good at just marketing your fitness, dude, because like fitness is honestly the key to everything. It's the basis. If you don't feel good, you're not going to be able to make money. If you don't feel good, you're not going to want to hang out with your family and spend time with them. So you got to feel good. It's the number one thing.
absolutely.
Fitness first, dude.
Yep.
But yeah, you can make a shit ton of money with that and help
Yeah,
a lot of
I'm
people. Make them not, because if you're at the gym, you want to smell good, you want to look good, and it's hard to smell good and look good at the gym. But you might
Absolutely.
make it easier
Exactly.
if you have, deodorized
yeah,
gym equipment.
your bag's gonna smell good. Don't worry about your bag
Yeah.
stinking, your knee sleeves reeking.
And if you're
You're good
hoping
to
to
go.
find your future love at the gym, and she's not gonna want to
No,
meet you if you smell like
absolutely
crap.
not. Absolutely not. Hey, the worst is even dudes on dudes. The worst is having your gym partner reek.
Oh yeah, dude. I remember like in PE, like there would be kids that would never wash their gym clothes. They just throw them back in the locker,
Yeah.
and then they would take out the next day. And I would just slowly migrate away
Yeah.
from those people. Like I'm not gonna hang out with
No,
this guy. He
and
stinks.
It's terrible. And then especially when you're working out with them, and obviously I'm the type of person that puts the importance in not reeking, and your gym partner smells bad. Anybody who walks by you're guilty by association,
Yeah,
You're like,
they're like, which one of
those
you guys
guys
is it?
reek. And
Yeah.
it's just like, dude, nah, that ain't me. But
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
yeah, it just happens. So definitely trying to put an end to that.
Okay. Well, you got any finishing touches you want to add on here that we didn't hit?
it'd be great if we added, if we gave them something of value that's actionable.
Yeah. What is it? You tell me, you're the boss.
I mean, let's.
So, well, we gave them one thing. We gave them the, cliffhangers. You gotta have your audience on a cliffhanger. When you're talking, you gotta always keep them interested, pique their interest, right? Because Instagram is really not about how many views. It's how long are they watching your video. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
So
And on YouTube too. If you're trying to get,
if
you're trying to
create
create
view hours.
yeah.
Mr. Beast, dude.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Beast has hundreds of millions of view
Yeah.
hours. He's got like 10 million followers. Like,
Yeah.
you have to have view hours. They want people to have
stay
eyes
on
on their
there.
platform
Yep.
for as long as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And it's really an affiliate program at the end of the day. If you can help Instagram keep viewers on their platform, guess what's ultimately going to happen?
They
You're
pay you.
going to make more money.
Yep.
Like it's an affiliate system in itself. You don't
Yep.
even know it.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
But
Yeah, if you want to make something actionable, I think one of the most important things that we talked about was getting people's confidence and them understanding that it's all attainable.
yeah. It's hard to find that belief, but you need to have a delusional belief. If you don't believe it at first, just write it down until you do believe it.
Yeah.
Like it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to have like these goals. You're like, God, there's no way I could ever do this. But really, eventually you just keep writing it down. And one day you're going to go, oh shit, I know how to do that.
Yeah.
I know how to do that. I finally figured it out. It might take you a month, a year, a week, 10 years, but you'll get it and you'll figure it out if you really want it bad enough. And you just have to have this delusional belief that it will work out.
Yeah.
If you don't have that, then you might as well just give up.
Yeah.
And
the key there
least
too
dream.
is really actually believing it. Like I would say start off small with things that you believe are attainable, and really, because if you really believe that it's attainable, you're going to get it, because that's the key right there, is believing that you're going to have it. So if you find something that you find attainable and just keep showing up, keep working at it, and eventually you get there. And that's one thing you have under your belt that'll lead to the next thing, and put loftier and loftier goals until you're good to go. Eventually you have that mentality about everything you do. It's going to be like, that's too easy. I can do it, because you already know that of all the things you've already conquered, it's just another thing.
Yep.
So I think that's one of the, for me and the people that I talk to, I think that's one of the things I always recommend. Just like find something that's achievable, doable for you right now that you want to get done, and do it.
Start
and move
small.
on to the next. Yep.
Start small. Okay. Well, cool, man. Where can people find you?
You can find me at Manny V the Guy on Instagram, TikTok, same handle, Manny V the Guy.
Why would they want to follow you?
Dude, I'm putting out all kinds of stuff, and you can also see if you're interested in just trying to figure this out. I mean, every video I put out, I put my best work into it. So
pay attention to what he's posting, guys,
Yeah.
because what he's posting, he's found the secret little recipe to success, where he's been able to replicate this viral video views.
Yeah,
He's been
yeah.
able to get those eyes on his videos the entire time.
and I'm not very big right now, but you're gonna see me blow up. So
I already know you're gonna blow up. I'm surprised. Like I see you go in little spurts. You like test a few things,
Yeah.
and then you stop and wait, and
Yeah,
then you
yeah.
test a few things. So I'm just waiting for you to get consistent
Yeah.
on your goals, so we
I
can
know,
be on.
I know.
You can park your yacht next to mine.
Yep, exactly. And if you
All
guys
right.
want to check out the product, it's gonna be launching soon. It's JimPuck.
He's gonna have an affiliate link. He's gonna send me,
Absolutely.
because we're affiliate marketers at the end of the day. That's what
Yep.
we do, right, guys?
Yep.
All right, cool, man.
All right. Too easy.
Thank you guys very much for listening. Hope you guys got something out of this. I'll catch you on the next one.